In a previous segment, I showed you how to copy and paste text into iBooks Author, as well as drag and drop images to create great-looking books. However, there's so much more potential to what iBooks Author has to offer than simply using images and even video. That power comes from what Apple calls widgets. If you look in the middle of the screen here in the widget menu, these are the different options that Apple has built in that you can use. The first is a gallery widget. Let me show you the gallery widget. If you insert a gallery widget, it lets you put multiple pictures all together that the user can then flip through. So if I happen to have some images here, and let's say I have an iBooks icon, a Keynote icon, and a MacBook icon, I can take those three images and select them, drag them into this gallery widget, and I can click through each of the different images. Notice that when I select this widget, in my inspector, I see the gallery media. I can adjust the order that they go in. So if I wanted the iBooks icon to be up top, I can do that, followed by the Keynote icon and the MacBook icon. Down here, I have the accessibility description. If you're making these books, it's really important that you fill out this accessibility description, because any student who's using a screen reader software, this is the description that gets read. So you just don't want to say picture. You'd want to say this is an image that shows a picture of the iBooks icon. Now, if I wanted to have some text that describes that picture even more for everybody to see, I can simply double click the text underneath it, and I can go the iBook icon. Now, if I click on the Keynote icon, I can say here, this is an example of the types of widgets that you can put into the iBook. And I do want to point out how the description that I place here is not the accessibility description. You're going to want to put both of these in here. So I can show you the iBook icon, the Keynote icon, and the white MacBook. The review widget is really nice. It allows you to embed multiple choice questions inside of your text. So if you wanted to have an end of chapter review, you can select the widget and it'll add an end of chapter review for you. Or if you just want to have a question in the middle of a section just to check for understanding, you can put that widget in there. Notice that I can have as many questions as I want. I just hit the plus sign to add new questions. There's different types of questions. You can see here multiple choice with an image, multiple choice where they're selecting one of 4 images, and then there's a couple drag and drop features as well. Let me get this up here. And so you can start to see here, if I do a drag label to target, I have labels and I have images that I can put in there and asking the question. You can also have embedded keynotes inside of your book. And if I select this, it'll give me a placeholder that I can drag and drop a Keynote file. So let me go and find a Keynote here. So here's a Keynote file. I'll drag this over into the widget, and it'll load that Keynote file. And then once it finishes copying it over and loading it, you'll be able to click through that Keynote file just like you would if you had the Keynote open. You can also do one of my favorites, and that's these interactive images. And so let me add an interactive image here, and let's go ahead and let's make this bigger. Now notice how the text is wrapping all the way around this, and Apple's iBooks Author is smart enough to automatically add pages when needed. So I didn't lose anything by making this full screen here. Now if I take an image, say I have a map here, and so this is a map of the Gettysburg battlefield, I can add that into the image, and notice how it's zooming around a little bit. If I click on these little pop-up boxes, this lets me just choose to zoom in to a certain point. And if you look here, there's a little box and then the line that comes here. I can move what it's zooming into. So if I drag this arrow over to Pickett, I can go here and I can type Pickett's charge. And then I happen to have some text explaining Pickett's charge, and so I'm going to copy that. Then when I come back over here, I can paste in that description. And I can even make this a little bit wider so it'll fit all on a screen. And let's zoom in a little bit here. And I'll click Set View. Now when I click out of that, you'll see I'll zoom out to see the whole map. But if I'm a student and I click on Pickett's charge, it's going to zoom in to where that view was, and that description is going to pop up. So this is great if you have an image that you're trying to use it to explain things with. It could be a picture of a microscope, and when the student clicks on each part of the microscope, it zooms in and gives them a description about what that is. It could be a map where you click on different parts, and then it zooms in and tells you what happened on those different locations. You could also use this if you're in a PE class and you have a picture of a workout, a weightlifting machine. And you could have the students zoom into different parts of that image and then learn how each one of those pieces work or proper form for using different workout stations. So this is a pretty powerful widget, being able to add images and being able to zoom in with descriptions. One of the great things about iBooks is all the great widgets that you can embed to make your book truly interactive. Occasionally, though, there might be a feature that you'd like to add that isn't covered by one of the built-in widgets. And luckily for us, there are multiple ways that you can either create your own widget or find widgets that other people have created that you're able to use in your interactive iBook. The first place I want to show you is a website called Bookry. The website is bookry.com. When you go to Bookry, it lets you take a tour or sign up for free. You are okay to use these for educational purposes, which makes it great for teachers. If you want to take a look here, if we go to Education, you can see that they have lots of these HTML5 widgets that you can do, and all you need to do is sign up for a free Bookry account. Once you sign up for an account, it'll ask you what plan you want to select for pricing. Now, for teachers, you probably don't want to spend a whole lot of money. Now, they do have an education option here that lets you use all of the Bookry widgets for free, provided that you accept the Bookry branding on them. And that just is that Bookry logo that'll show up on your widgets, which I think is a really good trade-off for some of the powerful widgets that they let you use. Now, Bookry has all sorts of widgets that you can use. There's widgets that help you make games. You can see here that there's widgets that let you or have students browse the internet from within the book. You can see you can embed calculators inside of books. You can do different types of assessment. There's even widgets that'll tell you and have students log into the book so you can see how many times they opened it, or if they were, how long they had it open from when they logged in and when they logged out. There's many, many different widgets here for you to look at. And once again, that's bookry.com. You're free to use their widgets as long as you let their branding be in place, and teachers can sign up by going to the top of their page, clicking Education, and then signing up.